The Crying Girl. I take the last train home most nights, not because I like it, I just prefer the quiet. By the time the line reaches my stop, the carriages are almost empty, and the streets outside are even emptier. The first time I saw her, I didn't think anything of it. A little girl sitting on the curb by the underpass, knees pulled up, face buried in her hands, crying softly, not loud, not dramatic, just that small miserable sound that makes you feel like you're overhearing something private. I froze. I wanted to help. I just didn't know how. I never know what to say to crying people. I always imagine I'll make things worse. So I walked past. A few weeks later, I saw her again. Same spot, same posture, same quiet sobbing. I hesitated longer this time, but still kept walking. Someone else would help her. Someone better at that sort of thing. And someone always did. A salary man crouched beside her. A woman offered her tissues. A student knelt and asked if she was lost. I saw them all. Familiar faces from the train. People I'd passed 100 times. And then, slowly, I realised I stopped seeing them. At first I didn't connect it. People change routines, people move, people get tired of the last train. But then the missing person posters started going up at the station. Faces I recognised. Faces I'd seen talking to her. I didn't say anything. Who would believe me? Surely it was just coincidence. I noticed she'd appear every month 3 nights in a row when the moon was full, bright, huge. That realisation chilled me. The next month, on the first full moon night, I saw her again. Same place, same crying. I kept my head down, walking faster. The second night she was there again. On the third night, a police officer stopped me outside the station. He looked tired, holding a clipboard of a photo of a missing high school girl. "Have you seen her?" he asked. I had. I'd seen her kneeling beside the crying girl a month earlier. "I saw her talking to someone," I said. A little girl, by the underpass." I glanced down the street. She was sitting under the street lamp, crying into her hands. I pointed. "That's her." He nodded and walked towards her. My route took me past them. The officer had begun speaking to her as I walked by, keeping to the opposite side of the road. And then she lifted her head. Only a little, just enough. Her face stayed mostly in shadow, the street lamp behind her, but I saw her eyes, just her eyes, bright, reflective, a tiny twinkle like glass catching moonlight. And she looked straight at me, not at the officer, not at the ground, at me. I tore my gaze away and kept walking. I didn't look back. A week later, a new missing person poster went up. The officer's face. I felt responsible, like I'd handed him over. My stomach dropped. I couldn't tell anyone. What would I say? I pointed a man toward a crying child and now he's gone. They'd think I was mad. Or worse, they'd go looking. I didn't know what to do, so I did nothing. The next full moon came. On the first night as I hurried past, she whispered through her sobs, "Help me, Teo." My name. I walked away as fast as I could. The next 2 nights were the same. I kept my head down and hurried past. The next month she said my name again, louder this time, like she was calling across a playground. That night, lying in bed, I heard her crying somewhere far off, faint, drifting, like it was coming from the hills. The next month, the crying was closer, somewhere near the back of the building. The month after that, it was in my garden. I asked my neighbour the next morning if they'd heard anything. They hadn't. They looked at me like I was imagining things. The next full moon, I heard her crying on my floor, soft, uneven breaths echoing down the hallway. The month after that, she was right outside my door. She didn't knock. She just cried and asked me to help her. The next full moon when I got home, she was sitting on the end of my bed, small, still, head bowed, crying into her hands. I didn't acknowledge her, didn't move, didn't breathe. If I acknowledged her, I felt she'd finished whatever she'd started. I lay down slowly, turned my back to her and pretended to sleep. Her crying stopped. The silence was worse. I moved out the next week. New apartment, new train line, new everything. For 3 months, nothing happened. No crying, no shadows, no full moon dread. I told myself I'd escaped. On the 4th month, at 2:15 a.m, on the second night of the full moon, I woke to a sound outside my window. soft crying, far away, but getting closer.